Welcome, Annie here for the Case the Fellow Team Tiny Creator Hop. This is the card I'll be creating today. I used the Create and Inspire July kit. I used the Meadow Flowers Set, the Meadow Sentiments, and the Trinity Stamp Crystals. This is LeeAnn's card. This is who I'll be casing today. So, I went ahead and stamped and colored my flowers before we got here today to save us some time. And I also die cut my panels for my card. LeeAnn did a A2 version of this card, also in landscape. I'm going to do a slimline version of this card. She also used black cardstock, while I'll be using this striped black and white cardstock and a white panel just like she did, and our 3 florals. I'll also be using the same sentiment. These are the Copic markers I use. I know they're going to flash quickly, but I'll have them in the description box below, as well as in my coordinating blog post. So I'm going to set those aside as well as my flowers, and we're going to work on our top panel. I also want it to be more like me. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in some ink splattering. Well, I'm going to actually use Heidi Swapp Color Shine in gold. Yes, I know the color shine is no longer available, but use what you like or you have available to you, whether it's watercolors or ink of any kind. So I pull out the little nozzle there and I just tap it and shake it. Tapping it, the little nozzle gives me nice small little splatters, and shaking it gives me bigger splatters. Excuse me. Then I'm going to heat set this once I'm done with all my little splatters here. This is a nice shiny gold. When it dries so pretty. Alright, so I'm going to set this so that it doesn't smear everywhere. And we can continue building our card. I heat from the top and the bottom to minimize my warping of my panel. It still warps, but not as much. Now let's build our card. I'm going to use some art glitter glue here to adhere our pattern cardstock paper to our card base. Now I'm going to give you a disclaimer. I put this card together without my glasses on. My glasses broke and I had to set them to the side, and I didn't have any more contacts. I used a disposable kind. So I built this card with no glasses. So if 1 or 2 things are a little crooked, I'm sorry. Alright, that was a quick close-up of our splattered background. So now I'm going to adhere the background to the card, and then we'll adhere our florals to it. I looked at the reference again to see how LeeAnn had her flowers. She has hers going like step down, like one is taller than the next step. It's a gradual, it's not really obvious step down, but it's there. I'm going to do mine up and down. Same concept, but slightly different. So I'm going to center my panel, my card on my mat here, because I want to stamp the sentiment in the center. I was lucky enough to have the same kit as LeeAnn, so casing her card was quite easy. So I'm trying to center it here so I can get my sentiment in the center. And then I'm going to bring in some Versafine ink and Onyx black to do my sentiment, to stamp my sentiment, not do it. Get it all inked up there. Also, LeeAnn did all of her card one layer, well, as flat as one layer, because she did have a cardstock layer, but there was nothing with much dimension on it. She stamped her flowers directly onto her panel. I stamped and cut my flowers, and I'm going to adhere them with foam adhesive. So this is where I looked at hers, and hers was straight, doing a gradual thing, and I was like, I don't want that. I want a little bit up and down because I also have a slimline and I want to fill the area. So I'm putting some foam adhesive on the back of each of the flowers. And the center one, I'm going to trim a little bit so that it's not interfering with my sentiment. I'm going to mark it with my pencil because I didn't want to stick it down and try to cut it because it's not going to go past the panel. I add a little art glitter glue to the stems because I want the stems to lay flat, just the buds or the flower part, not the stem, the flower to be raised. And I repeat the process with all the flowers. Now make sure you hop and check out all the different creators for this hop today. It's going to be lots of fun. You know, just something fun to look at and do. The ladies all worked really hard on their projects. And if you like what you're seeing on my channel, please feel free to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I would appreciate it. So now that we have all our flowers adhered to our card panel, I'm going to bring in our Trinity stamp crystals that were included in the kit. I pulled some out already into my tray. And I'm going to have a hassle with these little jewels. I always do. I don't know why, but I do. And I even use my jewel picker. Yeah, we just don't mesh really well. I do my best to pick them up with the jewel picker. Yeah, not so successful. I drop it next to the glue, not on the glue. Then I have to shimmy it over. It's always the jewels. They always get me. So I'm going to put 3 down here on the right hand corner, 3 on my left hand corner, 1 by my center flower, and 2 small ones up by the sentiment. I got a little carried away with the jewels, I think, but you know, it looks nice though. I like the way it turned out. And I like the fact that these jewels have a nice variety of sizes. You have a larger, a medium, and a small little jewels. So it's perfect for embellishing your cards. And if you haven't checked out the new Create an Inkspire set card kit, you should. It's beautiful. It's very colorful, this month's kit. And I believe we're done. Yep, okay, we're done putting all our jewels here. I'm gonna do a quick cleanup and show you the card a little close up here. So again, I was inspired by LeeAnn's card. I just changed a few little things like the pattern paper. I did a slim line and I did some ink splattering on the back. I changed the slight position of my flowers and I added a little bit more jewels than she did. But it was fun casing LeeAnn's card, and I hope you check out the rest of the creators. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you found some inspiration.